For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Guys, today we have Dr. Sushant Rajput sir with us, and he's the author of two books. The first one, I Wish Someone Told Me This Before My First Job, and the second one, the latest one, is Mindful Momentum. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on our show. I'm truly grateful कि आपने हमारे show को चुना.
Thank you, Gaurav, for inviting me. It's an honor.
Pleasure, sir. So, sir, before we get into the podcast and know much more about your book, about your upcoming projects, your take on different things about this industry, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you, and do share how you started this writing journey.
Sure. To give a brief about me, as already the name has been mentioned, I'm Dr. Sushant Rajput. I nearly have more than 2 decades of corporate experience with me, working across organizations, predominantly across operations, business development, and consulting. 3 years ago, I ventured out into writing. Of course, it was not an overnight decision. I had begun my writing journey as a blogger a couple of years before that. And then I thought, why don't I get into the formal structure of becoming an author? And that's how in 2022, I took a plunge of started writing my first book. And of course, it was not a straightforward decision of picking up this as a topic. It was based on my experience as well as what I was observing with the students and young professionals who are entering the corporate world, how they were good at technical skills, but what they lacked in terms of professional skills is what drove me. Plus, this is something similar that I had faced when I entered the corporate world 2 decades after my MBA, and I thought that why not? If there was a book, a guide which can actually help prepare the students and young professionals better, it would any day be a guiding book for them. And that's how I got into the journey of writing. And then after that, a year after that, there was another thing that I started observing with a lot of the students, as well as young professionals or people across age group, is about most of us delay things, right? We say, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it after a week. We have time. And then when the day comes when we are supposed to finish it, and then we grapple around and we struggle around, and then we start thinking and overthinking, oh, what went wrong? Why I was not able to do it? And these two things made me realize that most of us are either living in the past or either thinking too much about the future, whereas rather being in the moment. And that's how the second book came to life, which is about being mindful. Being mindful is not about being smart. Being mindful is about being in the present. How much I use my existing time to make myself have better experiences, better memories, or better learnings. And this book basically talks about how does an individual can navigate through procrastination, which is delaying things, and how to avoid overthinking. Thinking is good, but overthinking is bad. We all know it, but we still do it, right?
Exactly.
So how do you get out of the loop of both these things? So that's how I was able to bring the second book to life. Now, I'm currently working on my third book. Not working, I guess almost done with it. Okay. This is called as Courage Within. Okay. It's more about Indian tales of grit and values. This is, I'm not saying that the other two were not, but this one is especially close to me because this is about stories, and we all love stories, right? This has been inspired by the values that my grandmother passed down, and I have tried to bring them to life. Okay, And also, it was based on a simple ask from my niece that why not there is something for our generation, which is
Mm-hmm.
Alpha generation, something to read, okay, in a simpler way.
Mm-hmm.
So my wish is to reintroduce today's teens to timeless Indian wisdom through relatable stories. I'm not dating them back 100 years ago. There was a king and a queen. No,
Mm-hmm.
stories of, but with some sort of learning about grit, resilience, inner strength, because these are certain things which think today's kids are missing, and there is no way they are getting an opportunity to learn about this. So that's about my upcoming project. So that's about me, and of course, I have been awarded, rewarded for my achievements till date,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the latest one being I've been conferred with an honorary doctorate by the World Rights Commission,
Mm-hmm.
and this doctorate has been approved by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Lovely, sir. That's truly inspiring. I must say that. So, sir, like, being in such a prestigious position, like you are the vice president of a very reputed company. So, how does your writing schedule looks like? Like every day you devote some particular hours to your writing, or it's like random, like someday you get some thought, you just jot it down on your phone, on a diary, and after that you elaborate. How does it goes with you?
Okay. As you said, there is no set pattern. Okay. So usually I write during late evenings. Predominantly, that's when the mind feels a little calmer after your work schedule. But honestly, ideas don't follow a schedule, right? We all know it. They just strike you. Sometimes they hit you while you're standing in the boarding queue at the airport or even during a casual walk. And I've learned this the hard way that thoughts don't reoccur. Like what I have got as a thought right now, it's not going to come back again,
Exactly.
right? So if you don't catch them, they're gone. So what I typically do is the moment an idea strikes, and we all have technology today, right? So I immediately make a note on it on my phone, whatever rough way. And then after a day or two, I go back and see, okay, what was it? It's like grabbing a butterfly before it flies away, right? Because if you don't catch it, then it's gone. So that's typically what is my writing pattern. Now, if you want to know that whether I'm a full-time writer or it's just a hobby, I will say right now I'm trying to balance it, right? Of course, I have a full-time corporate job, but I'll not again call writing as a hobby. It's rather a passion project now because I'm doing what I like doing. I'm not saying I hate my job or something. Sorry, don't take it that way. Love my job. But this is something I am doing outside the job to help others, to make others learn something new. Like people at the end of the day after work, they hit a gym while I hit the pen and paper.
Wow. Lovely. Sir, like, we are in this industry for more than 8 years as of now. And back in like 2020, we started another podcast show. It was the MG show. And at that time, like, we were serving this industry, like we were providing different kinds of services to authors. But that podcast was specially for like celebrities, entrepreneurs and graphic designers and people from different kinds of fields, we can say. So at that time, बहुत सारे ऐसे authors थे ना जिन्होंने बोला कि आप हमें feature करिए. But I was very much not interested because जो audience थी वो एक reader की audience नहीं थी मेरे पास. So in 2021 when I started this podcast Reading the Author, my sole purpose was कि like बहुत सारे authors release हो रहे हैं, like 100 से ज़्यादा किताबें release हो रही हैं, but हमको आपको छोड़ के कोई एक नॉर्मल इंसान से हम पूछेंगे तो उसके पास बहुत कम आंसर रहेगा कि वो किसी और ऑथर्स को जानता है एक्सेप्ट 5-10 ऑथर्स के अलावा. एंड आई फील रियली ब्लेस्ड कि मैंने स्टार्ट किया बिकॉज ऑफ द थिंग कि मैं आपके जैसे लोगों को फीचर कर पा रहा हूँ पॉडकास्ट पे, बिकॉज हु थिंक्स बियॉन्ड मनी एंड फॉर द सोसाइटी एंड फॉर द पीपल. Because you could have chosen something else, you could have done something else, you could have written something else which is kind of mass appealing, crime thriller, romance, mystery novel and all, but you are doing something that is helping people and that is for the society. So I really feel grateful to feature you on this episode, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, sir. Those were really kind words and pretty encouraging for me to continue doing what I'm doing. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure, sir. So, sir, like my next question to you of this podcast is, I have been personally in conversation with more than 450 to 500 authors, and what I have closely seen and observed that most of them are trying to be known or remembered as a certain genre or certain type of author. So when it comes to you, let's say if a person have read all, like both of your books, and एक दो साल बाद अगर वो देखता है कि okay, it's a new book by Sushant sir. So what impact you want to create on that reader's mind? क्योंकि ठीक है, सुशांत सर की बुक है, इस टाइप की होगी, इस कैटेगरी में होगी, या फिर मुझे ऐसी मिलेगी पढ़ने को, या ये चीज़ें कवर होंगी उस बुक में, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. कभी सोचा है इस बारे में फ्रॉम अ पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग पर्सपेक्टिव?
Okay, firstly, मैंने हमेशा ये सोच के लिखा है और अभी भी लिखता हूँ that I don't want to see myself just as an author. Okay, and also I don't want to people or readers to pick my books thinking that, oh, this guy has spent nearly 22 years in the industry. There's a lot of knowledge that he's going to give us, corporate gam. I would rather see myself as someone who builds bridges. Meaning what? Somebody who can bring in the learnings both from classroom as well as boardroom. Okay. Basically talking about personal struggles as well as professional growth. Somebody who will tell you, not just tell you, okay, if you do this, you'll become successful. No. I would rather be somebody who tells you, continue doing this, you'll have a better life. Success is temporary. We all know it, right? Like the way you said, you have podcasted 500 authors, right? That's a great feat. But let's look at it this way. Will you say that podcasting 500 authors is your achievement? Is that your brand? No. Not really. You will say, I was able to provide a platform where I was able to get so many people to come and share their thoughts, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. So for me, I want to be that platform from where people take something which can help them in through the life, and not for the moment or maybe for like when they're reading it. And that's the reason why, if you see, many people always think that self-help books are like immediate shots, right? It will make you feel great and then you're lost. I don't want. I want people to remember it and go back to it, because I have seen a couple of my readers who came back and told, sir, I was stuck here and I reread your book or reread one of your chapters and it helped me actually find an answer.
Wow.
Now that's what is the brand that I want to leave with.
Understood, sir. So now let's get back to the time when you heard the very first time that tomorrow your book will be live. Everybody will be able to buy it, read it, judge you on the basis of what you have written, because generally ऐसा सोचा जाता है कि it's a reflection of thoughts what a person have written. So on that particular eve, like एक दिन पहले उस शाम को, what was going on your mind? Like, were you excited? Were you relaxed? You just marked up some milestones कि these many people know me, my book has to be sold out, these many copies. What was going on your mind at that time?
Okay. See, releasing a book, okay, to give a better analogy, is like sending your child to school for the first time.
Agree.
Excited, right? You want your child to go to the school, study, become better, and you're nervous also that it can go the other way around also.
Yeah.
But the most important thing that you always want is, you want the world to be kind to your child. More than anything. So for me, more than thinking about, हाँ इतनी किताबें बिकेंगी, इतने copies बिकेंगे, bestseller बनेगा, people will start recognizing me. More than that, I wanted people to be kind to that book and not judge it. Rather read it in a way that, yes, this is something I didn't know before and I've got to know today. That was the only thing. Of course, I wasn't nervous, because you are nervous only when you expect. And I didn't have any expectations. I just wanted this to come out to life, because for me, as much as I wanted to help youngsters and young professionals to learn something new, it was also a dedication to my parents, because just before that I had lost both my parents.
Okay.
So it was bringing not just my dream to the world, bringing my dedication to them to this world.
Hmm.
So it was a mixed feeling, but
Mhm.
yes, of course, as I said, I didn't expect it to hit the top 10 charts or something.
Mhm.
I just wanted to be there for the people who are lost, who didn't know what to do. See, I'm sure you might also come across. I've seen graduates, I've seen postgraduates. They come out and they are lost. They don't know where to go, what to do, whom to ask.
True.
But if even if one of them I was able to help, then I would think that I'm successful. And that was the only thought running in my mind.
Definitely. Beautiful. Okay. So, sir, now, after listening to this podcast, many people will just love to explore the book. They might be interested in buying and reading it too. So, when it comes to talking from a new reader's perspective, what a new reader can expect from your book? Can you share some insights with us?
In terms of what they will get to learn.
Yes, sir. Like what they can expect from this book?
You mean to say the first book, the second, or the third?
I guess we can go with the latest one, sir. Third one we can do
Okay.
for another podcast.
Sure. Oh, that will be great. Okay. See, as I mentioned, the second book is all about procrastination and overthinking. The two biggest problems of today's century that I have seen. I can call definitely decade, not a century, but at least the last 10 years. Many people are lost in over-analyzing things rather than finding a solution. Right? So this book will help people break free from the chains of delay and self-doubt, that मेरे से होएगा, मेरे से नहीं होएगा, करूं कि नहीं करूं, नहीं रुको और थोड़ा सोच लेता हूं. Help an individual to build momentum through small, consistent steps. Start small, but keep doing it consistently. That's the key, right? The readers will feel less stuck and more in control of their day-to-day activities. They can plan better, they can manage their time better, they can also see results which wouldn't have been possible before this if they follow it. So irrespective of the age group, whoever is stuck in the loop of overthinking, and I'm sure if I do a rough estimate also, out of 100, 99 of us overthink. I think there'll be only one person, and that one person would have practically have left the normal life and would have gone into some hermitage or would have joined some ashram.
I agree on that.
99 of us are into the same problem. So I will not say this will totally transform you, but at least it will help you to get out of the cycle of overthinking.
So, sir, like, what I personally feel that numbers of author are getting increased day by day. Like after the first lockdown, this industry has seen a boom. Hundreds of books being published. Publishing has become much more easier as it was used to be. Like, we have KDP, literary agents, self-publishing, lots of traditional already there. So when it comes to you, like, it has been like quite some time. What do you feel like, when it comes to marketing and distribution, because these are the two pillars that differentiate authors from different authors, because publishing to har koi kar le raha hai, marketing is the whole game changing thing. So have you came across anything like that has worked the best for you? Like, aapko aisa laga ho ki, this is the thing that I have done and I have get the most ROI, what we can expect. So I'm going to repeat this for my future books as well. Or, I'm going to stick to these kinds of patterns when it comes to marketing. Anything have you come across like that?
Okay, let me answer this two ways. Okay. Your first part of your question was talking about competition, right? How do you address the competition? Correct. Firstly, I really don't see a competition, because as we all know, and as you mentioned, post the pandemic, there are so many books, so many literary contributions that have happened. Okay. But each author, has his or her own voice and their own way of putting things across. But what worries me most is not the competition of too many authors. It's basically people, especially youngsters, are slowly losing the habit of reading. That's worrisome. Because today most people prefer to scroll, swipe, even listen, right now what we are doing, or watch videos, but rather than pick a book. And that's scary for any author. You can do the best of marketing, but let's say if you don't have readers itself, people have lost interest in reading itself, then what do you do? Right? And that's when most of your new age ways of marketing or ways of promoting your book will come handy. One of them is podcast. It can be audio or video. The second is inviting authors to specific group, to whomever the book is written. Let's say if it's written for, let's say, young professionals. So why don't have a gathering of all these people and try to say that what is that you guys are facing today, right? And how you can address. Second, one other thing that I've seen has worked well with my case is the reviews, right? Because today we are in a generation, or we are in a time, not a generation, in a time where people go by reviews, what others are saying. And you look at any bestseller, the bestseller has not become bestseller by itself, right? It has become because what others have said about that book. And people read that and come to either a conclusion that, okay, maybe I can pick this book and maybe this might be helpful. And the reviews have to be across platforms. It cannot say that, oh, I'll just put it on Amazon and things are good. No, it has to go across. It has to be Amazon, it has to be Goodreads, it has to be Insta, it has to be everywhere. Until that doesn't happen, your reach will not be there. Third, and the most important, one other thing that I've seen, especially what I followed in my book, both my first and second, is when people read, especially self-help books, they're very much interested to know, how do I implement this in my life? It's good to know. Do this. So until you don't give them some sort of a call to action, that how you can do this, they will forget it. And they will not be interested even to go back. And they will be lost. How do I implement this? So see to it that you are, especially self-help books, for the fictions, fine, it's just a story, person reads it, enjoys it. But for non-fictions, especially self-help, you need to leave the book with some sort of to-do list or to-do items for the readers. And they see that. And when they are unable to do it, they'll revisit your book. And the next time you're coming up with your next work, people will be eager to see that, okay, does this have also something similar? Because last time it helped me. And you take 90% of the self-help book or 100% of the self-help books today, only 5 or 10% have such exercises or call to action. 90% don't have. And people forget it. So these are three things I feel from a marketing standpoint, or making your book more readable, more acceptable, more buyable works. One another thing, and of course it is again part of what we are talking about, right, is the digital presence. How much digital carry today? Because as much as people see you on the digital medium, that much they'll recollect you, that much they'll remember you. Like for example, I remember when initially about me and my book started getting published or being talked about on the internet. Even today, if you go and type Sushant Rajput, you'll get the actor, not me. Right?
Yes, sir.
Are we there? I'm sorry, I think.
Yes, sir. I'm there, sir. I'm just listening, yeah.
Today, you'll get the actor's name. But off late, I've seen, if you type Sushant Rajput, it gives you two options. It gives you him and it gives me both. So at least people will start knowing, okay, there is another person by this name and this is what he has written. So that's the another most important thing that every individual needs to look at, is how to build your digital presence. What we are doing right now also is a digital presence.
True.
Because nobody's practically seeing me, neither you, but they're just hearing us out. And tomorrow this will be in multiple platforms, and that will be there till the time I'm there.
Exactly. Okay. I agree on that, sir. What I personally feel, sir, that I agree from almost all the point, but what I agree the most is about the digital presence thing, because we are in the era where everything is available on social media and people just don't recall anything, कि कुछ याद करने का उनको नहीं चाहिए, उनको इट्स कि instantly I can just Google that, instantly I can search on Instagram, I can just connect with you on there. So definitely the
Right.
profile, the whole जो personal branding PR की thing होती है, that's gonna change the game, what I personally feel. आप कितना ज़्यादा audience के mind में recall value connect कर सकते हैं, be it using any graphic, any color or any combination that just remind them कि नहीं ये it is about Sushant sir, that can be a game
Right.
changer.
Right.
And
No, that's the reason. If you look at the entire publishing journey, sorry to interrupt you, entire the publishing journey of a book, you can write the best book. It has been edited the best way. It has been published even by the best of publisher. But if you are unable to market your book,
exactly,
nobody's going to read it.
It's a waste. Yeah. I agree on that, sir. And one more thing, sir, जैसे कि आपने बताया ना कि that call to action is very important. So I just, it just strike on my mind कि when I was in, I guess, 4th, 5th or 3rd, then सारी बुक्स तो होती थी, बट एक वो जो ड्राइंग की बुक होती थी ना, उसके पीछे वो समथिंग कुछ क्राफ्ट से रिलेटेड होता था, कुछ कलरफुल पेपर्स मिलते थे एंड उसको हमें या तो प्लेन बनाओ या ऐसा कुछ तो उसमें वो बना रहता था. तो किसी किताब का नाम नहीं याद है, बट वो उस किताब का नाम ना आज भी याद है कि बिकॉज उसमें कुछ ऐसा था जो कि हम खुद से कर सकते थे. So that's a kind of thing, definitely, call to action वाली चीज बहुत सही है, and I truly agree on that, sir. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so sir, probably my last question to you of this podcast, like there's a lot of thing to ask you and there's a lot of thing to learn from you, but definitely we have some time constraint, podcast thing. So my last question to you of this podcast is like, after listening to this podcast, बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग होंगे ना जो कि लिखना स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं या फिर लिखना चाहते होंगे, or they might be holding their first draft in the laptop, in the diary, in the handbook. So what would be your advice for those upcoming authors?
Write whatever you feel you must write. If you think that, okay, this is what I feel I should write, just start writing. Don't wait for a moment, and don't write to sell. And don't write what is trending today. Because most of them think that, oh, this is something, it is a genre which is going well, so let me do this. No, it should rather be based on your strengths and your experience. And most importantly, since the genre that I belong to, I feel if anybody wants to write anything in this particular category, the three things that he or she should have in the mind is, you need to think what that I will write is reading which it is going to help others. Second, what kind of an impact it will create and what sort of a difference it will make. Because at the end of the day, you should remember, even if your book changes one life, that your job is done. It doesn't need to sell 1,000 copies. Even if it sold 1,000 copies and let's say only 100 people read it, what's the big deal about it? But it doesn't make any difference, because it's not like mine is a first or mine is a last self-help book. There were thousands before me, there will be thousands after me. But there are few which people remember even today, not because they were just written very well. They were written out of personal experience. People could relate. So write something, as I said, I'll repeat the same thing again, write out of your experience and your own knowledge. I know today we have reached a stage where people can use all the wonderful tools like ChatGPT or any of this and can create chapters like at a flick of a finger. But that will never have a personal touch. That will never, and
that experience won't be there.
They lose it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this lovely and inspiring conversation with Sushant sir. And if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. आप जस्ट Amazon पे जाएं, वहाँ पे सर्च करें सुशांत राजपूत, सर की बुक्स आ जाएंगी, जरूर खरीदें, पढ़ें और अपने चाहने वाले जानने वालों के साथ जरूर शेयर करें. बाय द वे, मैं बुक्स का दोनों नाम दोबारा बता दे रहा हूँ. इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू सर्च एंड बाय. द फर्स्ट वन इज आई विश समवन टोल्ड मी दिस बिफोर माय फर्स्ट जॉब, and the second one is Mindful Momentum. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on our show. It was my honor to be able to host you today.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thanks for your time and thanks for inviting me. It was really a pleasure, and you made me think with your questions. Thanks a lot. That means
Thank
a
you so
lot.
much, sir. Thank you.